Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. We've been tearing it apart around here. For those of you that have eyes in the school, I'm knocking them out. So you'll start getting them in the mail soon. Matter of fact, we mailed the first batch out 2 or 3 days ago, and so every day I'm giving them a stack of them, so they should be getting them to you. And then you can see what all the areas you need to work on, but a lot of you already know your eyes because you're learning iridology. And I love that. What a science. We need to build up this science and smack those old medical doctors that didn't use it, that let it go. It's like, you guys let something go. You need it back. But they wouldn't know how to use it in regard to people's health. And I want to thank 303. 303, I've been sucking down those little oranges. Those little bitty things, those are good. And was those passion fruit in there, by the way? I can't keep people's hands out of that. Clementines, those are delicious. 303, mwah! Now, this is some pretty stuff. I hope they don't mind we show it. Guess where that came out of? Wasn't the kidneys. Nope. Yeah. Tracy? This is addressed to Chris. Yeah. I mean, this is a practitioner sent this to us in regard to one of their clients. They've had a lot of bowel problems through their life. And this lady has been getting this out in her stools about 18, started this stuff in her stools about 18 months ago, shortly after she began juicing and eating about 70% raw. And just think, at 70% raw, her body's expecting this out. My guess, this probably might even have some sulfur in it, although it does tend to turn the body orange. But yeah, this is just strands of mucus and mucoid plaque. It's not black though. I don't know. You know, years of impactions from white flour products creates this film. A lot of times when you use charcoal to get it out, it turns black, but it can come out like this. But yeah, it follows the bowel pattern, like the wall of the bowel. And so a lot of this is probably on the lining of the bowel, but you shouldn't be getting it out every time. If she's getting this, I mean, this is all in big chunks and pieces, and this is all strings and stuff like this. Well, I would definitely want to deworm her and everything else. You know, go after any tapeworms or anything like that, and just really get in the GI broom. And wow, this lady's had some interesting things come out of here. It looks like a sleeve or a skin, and you see that a lot of times, and that's that mucoid plaque that gets on that wall. And it could be pulling from the wall, and who knows, but this is all in one piece. Or several little pieces, but pretty long. I don't see any reference to length to see how long we are here, but definitely gnarly stuff. Not breakfast of champion food, but good job. Good job. I mean, this lady's had bowel problems all her life, and so getting this out has to feel really good. And I might say that malabsorption would be very, very much considered when you see this stuff, and this would be the stuff of malabsorption. You know, where it would plaque up on the bowel wall. I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's Raw Food Solutions, Mizpah. Asked me about glandulars here. I would probably stop the hypothalamus. I would probably stop that one as it has a residual kick to the thyroid and then can increase heart rate. Because he got a little tachycardia when he started the hypothalamus and the cortex and medulla. The medulla has the potential to increase neurotransmitters, which is why we use them. And increasing neurotransmitters increases your performance of your autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is, of course, the emotional side, and sympathetic, parasympathetic, adrenals particularly sympathetic. So how that all works with all the functions of cells from the activity of the muscles to the production of insulin. All levels that does the nervous system perform. So, possible medulla, but my guess is going to be the hypothalamus area of the body, and I would probably DC that one and continue down your pathway of enhancing adrenals. Next time, get the whole adrenal complex there. This is a repost, so thank you for reposting this. I apologize that I have not gotten to this, okay? This is ACDCBCFC family, okay? But I've watched the videos and haven't. Basically, I have a nodule on the right side of my thyroid. Now, this is common. This is common as the sun coming up. People have nodules in their thyroids all the time, and they can spend a lifetime with them in there with no problems whatsoever. For me, I'm one of those lymphatic thinkers. We got to get the lymph moving and get this nodule out of there. Whenever you see a nodule, you see a polyp, you see a cyst, you see a tumor, you automatically know that it's going to be filled with interstitial fluid. Since that's the only real fluid that's available everywhere, you're going to see it full of interstitial fluid, which is blood and lymph. More lymph, generally speaking, than blood, of course, but some of these tumors, you see the blood aspects of that. And it's just when you're not filtering properly. And this is common in the thyroid, particularly without tonsils, of course, but it's very much so, giving you an indication that there is some GI tract problems as well. It's all this filtration and all this backing up of lymph. Never forget the GI tract in its role, even though we don't know 100% how that's affected the lymph in that way. It has its own lymph system to deal with. I have a nodule on the right side of my thyroid that was biopsied a few weeks. Last fall I was told that the cells were benign, but now the surgeon is saying we need another biopsy to see if the cells have differentiated and that they will recommend removing my thyroid if the cells are cancerous. You know, this is going back to this whole stupidity. If you have a cancer cell, remove the tissue. Well, what do you think your immune cells are there for and your lymphatic system's there for? And that's what they don't get. So then they remove the guy's thyroid, and then the rest of his life is pure hell. You know, that isn't where it's at. It isn't where it's at. I did a 10-day watermelon fast and had amazing results. Good deal, but have not been good in terms of consuming 100% fruit since you recommend formulas for me to dissolve this nodule. Or can you? I have a lot of right-sided issues, so then you know your kidneys and adrenals are right-sided there, man, including the nodule and the long history of right-sided scapula and neck pain. Thank you. Listen, that's all lymph. All that pain and stiffness, even the frozen shoulders. I mean, that just shows you that this whole right side isn't filtering through that right kidney. Now, you can't do anything about right side over left side, but at least you're aware that this is the side that and the kidney that you're having trouble with. Just go after your kidneys. You would go after your GI tract to get, to open up this trunk of the tree. So if it was me, I would do stomach and bowel, whichever one, you need. Generally speaking, 1 or 2 is mostly what people use. I do the lymphatic 1 capsules if it was me, because it'll start pulling the bowel wall clean and all that. I'd probably do the kidney capsules, with the lymphatic 1 capsules I've been doing three times a day. I'm talking to Roger. Roger is our new counselor on board. He said hi the other day, and he's sitting in here with me for this a few weeks before he straps it on. He's already seeing his own clients, but he wants to come aboard. And, we've been friends for a lot of years. But you want to, do a liquid lymph like Lymph Node 2. And really start pulling on that lymph. Do the GI broom. Make sure those kidneys are working on filtering. Get your adrenals up. Good adrenal cytotrophin or glandular or adrenal formula or endocrine gland formula. I don't care. But going that way and start moving lymph, I definitely would revisit the watermelon fast and would revisit a high fruit detox while you're doing this. I mean, make it all work for you. While you're doing the and spending the money on the herbs, do the time on the raw and really start pulling that out of there, and then you'll be good to go. And you'll ward off any deeper problems. Removal is never recommended. you can't live without them. You can live without them, but boy, is time rough. And then if they remove the parathyroids, your calcium utilization of your body is so much compromised. I don't know how people keep their bones and skeletal structure without their thyroids and parathyroids. I don't.
How many situations you've seen to where the thyroid has grown back?
One.
One?
Only one. But you can keep in mind here, we've ran a small clinic for years. And we've always been busy, at least in the last 25 years. The first part, I was living in my clinic and couldn't afford to do any. I had to go work at the telephone company and then see my clients when I could stuff them in. So it was a lot different now, you know. But we haven't. When you're working in a practice like this, it cycles. Sometimes we have a bunch of quads or pairs, and sometimes we don't have any for years. It just cycles, you know. Some days you'll see that. Some days some people will come in and it's just prostate cancer day or breast cancer day, and they just come in, or weak. They come in by the groves. So in some cases we haven't had a chance to follow up with them. I'm working on a couple of cases now that they have their thyroids removed, and we're hoping to get the thyroid to grow back. I don't like to fool people in the sense that you're going to be well over a year in regrowing tissue. I mean, I've seen tissue grow a lot quicker, but you know, you're not going to regrow tissue in the state of health that the humans are in now until you get way up there. Did have one lady grow her thyroid back. Tonsils can. Someone asked me about lymph nodes on these, and that's just something I have a big question too. We don't have the ability to research and X-ray and things to observe these lymph nodes and everything, or ultrasounds. We just don't have that. Hopefully, that will become such a strong team that that a lot of medical researchers will take notice and say, "Hey, let's look and let's follow some of these cases." Good. And let them, you know, research and watch this. That's okay with me. I don't really give a hoot. We want them to become aware of these high levels of tissue rejuvenation. And so I would love to be able to watch more, but people don't have the money. They come with me for 2 or 3 months and then they're gone. We don't keep clients long because we're a curative modality. So when you're not going to keep your clients for years. We do. They're friends of ours. All my clients become friends because we are all friends. So, but financially, and then some people don't want to do the raw all the time, you know, so they break away. So you have a lot of reasons why clients leave and come back. Most of them come back, though, that don't get their remedy, you know, that leave before they get their remedy. And I can understand why this is a very difficult level to be at. Look at the controversy already. This level's breeding. It shouldn't breed any controversy. You know, we're arguing over nickels and dimes and things like that. But the reality is we have to be up at these higher levels to regenerate the human race, and that's what's important. And I think it's important that we keep educating our families and our friends and working with them, and then taking on our people that need help and working them out of it. And pretty soon, you know, we've changed the whole course of consciousness on the planet in every way. Like throwing a bucket of water in the ocean, you raise the whole ocean. Doc, when I take the herbal tinctures out with me into the extreme heat, I like to keep them on ice. But what is the temperature that I need to keep them below before they self-destruct? It is the same with capsules. Well, I don't think, unless, you know, like I said, 107 is when you start losing your waters. So I don't really like to keep herbs in anything, say, above 90, really. And all our herbs are in the house, which I keep the temperature of the house about 74, 75, because my body runs hot all the time. And I like to be cool a little bit, not cold. So definitely, this is Scorpius 662. Yeah, I would just keep them cooled down. It's not going to ruin the alcohol ones, but I would, yeah, I try to keep them out of anything above 90 or 95 myself. Most of these are you're going to take down. Some people just use a little and they keep them around. I say use up your herbs. They're good. They're nutritious. They're tissue specific. Use them up.